Okay, here we have a formula for what's called the margin of error, and it's z times sigma divided by the square root of n. So we want to find the value of this, or we want to evaluate this when z is this number, sigma is this, and n is equal to this. Very simple problem. I'll just take this expression right here, and I'll substitute these numbers into it, and I get 1.96 times 5 divided by the square root of 100. Okay, and that's going to be very easy to simplify. So 1.96 times 5 divided by 10, or 1.96 times 1/2. Oops. So times 1/2, which means I just divide this by 2. So this times 1/2, that's going to give you the answer. So we see expressions like this from time to time, and the only problem I ever see students make on this as far as interpreting it is they have a number times a fraction. And if they make a mistake, sometimes what they do is multiply this number times the numerator and times the denominator. And that's just not true. So just think of it this way. What if you had 2 times 3/4? And you were just looking at simple fractions like this. Well, what's this fraction? This number 2 as a fraction is 2 divided by 1. 2 divided by 1 times 3/4. And you know, when you multiply fractions, you multiply numerators, multiply denominators. So this is going to be just 2 times 3 divided by 1 times 4. So what that tells you is that if you have a number like this times a fraction, and you want to think about how you're going to actually do the operation, you multiply that number times only the numerator, not the denominator. But there's other ways to do it. You can think of this as 0.5, multiply that by 0.5. You can think of this as 1.96 divided by 2, because you're going to multiply the 1.96 times the numerator 1 and then divide by 2. So that's the only mistake I ever see students make on interpreting an expression like this. So just be aware of it, that's all. Anyways, here is a formula for the margin of error. I've substituted some numbers in, simplified, this is what I get. This is the kind of problem you're going to see when you get to statistics.